The following program contains sexual content. Viewer discretion advised. Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
What did Daddy do to you?
A father accused of the unthinkable.
I have medical proof that she was sexually assaulted.
You waited 7 days to take her to a pediatrician?
It was about 5 days. I was in shock.
Did you call the police?
Immediately.
The police report says you called 16 days later. Did you molest your daughter?
Absolutely not.
Come on, tell the truth.
You are out of your mind.
You say you have unequivocal proof.
Show physical evidence and put me in jail.
I have. He has in his hands.
Here it is. It says diaper rash.
Sexual abuse.
It does not say sexual abuse. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Thank you very much. Okay, I want to give you all fair warning. Today we are going to discuss some really heartbreaking and unspeakable accusations. Now, Crystal and her mother Barbara claim that Crystal's adorable 3-year-old daughter Marie has changed from a sweet, fun-loving toddler to one experiencing violent temper tantrums and night terrors. Crystal and Barbara say they are 100% certain that the reason for this drastic change is because Marie was sexually assaulted by her father Anthony on at least 2 separate occasions. Now, Crystal says she recorded this home video a week after her daughter's first alleged assault. I'll let you take a look.
What did Daddy do to you?
He put a stinging.
He put a and it was stinging?
Yeah.
Now, this was recorded a week after what Crystal claims was her daughter's second sexual assault. Take a look.
I'm gonna call my dad. No pimping, Daddy. He's a naughty daddy.
Now, despite what you just heard, Anthony, the father, is adamant, and I mean adamant, that he has never touched or engaged his daughter inappropriately in any way. He says Crystal is crazy and lying just to get back at him. He accuses both Crystal and her mother Barbara of coaching his daughter into making up these horrific claims. But Crystal says that as long as she's alive, Anthony will never breathe the same air as her daughter again.
What's happening to my 3-year-old daughter is a mother's worst nightmare. Anthony sexually assaulted our daughter. God gave me a gift that her dad raped her. I hate him. What she's going through is just horrid. My daughter told me that her daddy stuck a stick and it really hurt her. I almost passed out. And actually, I think I vomited. I believe my daughter 100%. I have medical proof that she was sexually assaulted by her father. I want to expose him for everything that he is. The first time Anthony raped our daughter, she was visiting with her father. When my daughter got home, she told me, "My pee-pee is stinging. Please put medicine on it." I took off my daughter's diaper and was horrified. It was red and swollen from top to bottom. I completely freaked out. A few days later, she actually got into detail on what he did.
But how did he hurt you?
He put my stinging.
Did he ever do that to you before?
Yeah.
I was very scared. I waited a few weeks to call the police. I got a temporary restraining order against Anthony. They really didn't investigate him at all. They did a physical examination and they decided to clear Anthony. There was no evidence that she was sexually assaulted. 6 months after the first incident, he showed up with the police at my house, demanding he was going to take her. It was Christmas Eve. The police said that if I didn't comply, they were going to write a terrible report to the judge, saying that I was not following the court order and I was going to go to jail. I only allowed Anthony to take her because I knew he was going to his sister's house where the other children were when he brought her home. She just flat out said, "I don't like the taste of Mommy." And I said, "That's disgusting. I didn't do that. Daddy I beyond flipped out. I started screaming. A few days later, I called the police. I went and got another restraining order against Anthony. He was ordered to get a hair follicle test, a psychological abuse evaluation, a substance abuse evaluation, and he failed to do any of it. Anthony has not seen our daughter in 10 months. Anthony is now trying to get visitation again. Never gonna happen. As long as I'm on this earth, I will never let them breathe the same air. Never.
Well, Crystal, this is got to be very painful to talk about, but your goal is what?
To keep him from my daughter for the rest of her life. I'd like to clear something up. This is not allegedly. This was medically proven already. They've already proved that she was sexually assaulted more than one time.
Until he has been charged, convicted, confessed, then it is allegation.
Okay.
Until this happened on July 6th, was there any indication of any inappropriate interaction between these two before that time?
Not that I noticed. There's no way my daughter is going to say the things that she said, and there's no way that her body was going to look the way it does if he didn't do it.
And you...
To this day, I'm sorry not to interrupt you, to this day she continuously asks me to buy her a new daddy. She doesn't want to be near him.
So she comes back, we're talking now on July 6th, and she says that, "Mommy, my pee-pee is stinging, please put medicine on it." And what did you think?
I immediately took her on the bed and to open up her diaper.
What did you think when she said that?
I just thought maybe she didn't wipe right, or maybe she was sitting in poopy for too long, but there was nothing in her diaper.
And
but there was no blood. There was nothing, and that was because he showered with her.
It was then that she told you about the object.
Well, I asked her, I said, how did you get like this? What happened to you? And she said, my daddy put a stick and it really hurt.
And at that point, take me through that moment. What goes through your mind?
From the moment she said that, I almost wanted to collapse. I'm pretty sure I got physically ill. I know I screamed for my mom because her bottom was so red and she was so in such pain.
Because I've been doing this for a long time, and I've talked to a lot of parents whose children have been molested, abused, raped. You waited 7 days to take her to a pediatrician?
It was not 7 days. It was about five days.
It was 7.
Yeah, I think they might have done something with the dates because it wasn't that long.
Okay, let's say 5 days.
It was still enough days for me to try to process this. I was really unsure of what she was trying to say to me. I know she told me flat out what she said, but I had a hard time grasping. I was in shock. I was sick to my stomach.
Did you call the police?
Yes, I did.
When?
Yes, I did. From that time, right immediately. Immediately.
You didn't wait 16 days?
No way. No way.
Because the police report says you called 16 days later.
Not from May. Not from in May. No, when she first got.
We're talking about the July incident.
That was a different time.
But on July 6th, she's screaming and crying in pain and telling you that she has been raped with an object by her father. And you didn't take her to the doctor or call the police.
I did. It just wasn't right away.
Why?
I was scared.
Well, the police report is dated 7/23.
I understand that.
So you waited 16 days to call the police.
Well, that was when I called the police, but I took her to the doctor before that. Her original doctor's office said that they were not medically equipped to handle the situation, and then to put her into therapy, which I did. And her therapist, to this day, still says that she was subjected to a grown man's genitalia on more than one occasion.
You mentioned the object that she was raped with. I know
She said it was a stick.
You mentioned that to the producers, but you didn't mention it to the police.
No, I did.
It's not in the police report.
They made a mistake because it was definitely. Well, it might have been that way because now it's been 2 years since we've been fighting this now. So she might have told me what exactly he did to her that day when I told her. But then when I got her on video, see, nobody wanted to believe me. He kept telling me that I was coaxing her. So when she told me again in more detail, I got her on video.
But it wasn't in the police report.
No, I did tell them. That's without a doubt. I didn't hold anything back. If she told me something and I told him that, and I did tell him.
Why is it not in the report?
I don't know. If he didn't do this, then why is she saying that he did still?
Well, I'm not saying he didn't.
Right.
No,
so
don't get me wrong.
If he didn't, she's going to be
Listen,
4 years old now.
I think this system is a false positive system. I think you have to believe children until you prove it to the contrary. I think you have to believe them. Your daughter comes and tells you that, you have to believe her until we prove otherwise. Well, Anthony says his ex-girlfriend, Crystal, is a manipulative, crazy liar and believes she has coached their 3-year-old daughter into accusing him of sexual assault. Well, we're going to meet him after the break.
I would never molest my daughter, ever. Crystal is a total liar. You really think I would do that to our child? Because I didn't give her that car, she's sticking the knife in.
And later...
Babies! 2-year-olds get coached by people, by crazy people like you!
Keep being the narcissistic
Okay, Nana.
You're the one on sex sites at 64 years old.
Stop talking.
I'm 60.
Anthony is a lying sexual predator monster. I would describe Anthony as evil, as a narcissistic sociopath. He's got no feelings. He's a sex addict. My justice for him will be if somebody put a Buick as he's screaming, no, no, no.
Well, Crystal accuses her ex-boyfriend, Anthony, of sexually abusing her 3-year-old daughter on at least 2 separate occasions. At least 2 separate occasions. She says she wants Anthony locked up in prison and for him to never see this child again. Anthony denies ever sexually abusing his 3-year-old daughter and claims Crystal's unfounded accusations have completely destroyed his life. Take a look.
Crystal's allegations against me are completely false. I would never molest my daughter, ever. Crystal is a total liar. Crystal is crazy, a leech, vindictive, and just a horrible mother.
He's disgusting. How could he do that to a baby?
I want nothing more than to prove to everyone that I am innocent.
I want to expose him for everything that he is.
The first 6 months, I saw the baby all the time. As soon as she turned 1 and I filed the paperwork for my custody, that's when everything took a turn. Crystal was mad because I was progressing with my life and she wasn't. Last December, Crystal flipped out when I showed up in my new car. Crystal was very, very upset that I did not give her my old car that I traded in. She said, I'm not giving you the baby. The police came out and said, I can't pull the baby out of the house. Call your attorney.
If you look at the police reports, it says, I did this because he didn't buy me a car. Dr. Phil could buy me a car tomorrow and I still say the same thing. He's not gonna fix my daughter.
Crystal accused me of sexually assaulting our daughter. What's wrong with you? I said to Crystal, you really think I would do that to our child? Crystal and I agreed that I would have our daughter Christmas Eve. My daughter and I went to my family's house to celebrate with the whole family.
Really sorry, we're opening fast.
Wow, look at that. We gotta put it together, yeah.
Crystal called me the next day. She accused me of holding my daughter down and committing a sexual act.
He has no idea that I have the actual medical proof.
I was flabbergasted. She said my sister walked in on us as well. This is 100% inaccurate and false. I believe my daughter is being coached.
Out of nowhere, she'll tell you just like I'm telling you.
I love my daughter dearly with all my heart. I've hired 3 attorneys, $30,000 total to have my daughter back in my life. I've come to the Dr. Phil show to not only get justice, but to get all of these accusations put behind me and to prove that I am innocent.
Anthony, you've been listening to everything so far, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you molest your daughter?
Absolutely not, 100%. This has been coached from day one.
Nobody's coaching
You
her.
are out of your mind.
Nobody's coaching her. You know
You are
that.
out of your mind.
She
Show
would
physical
listen.
evidence and put me in jail.
I have.
Good.
He has in his
Get
hand.
lie
Please
detectors,
show-
do everything we
please
have to do, Dr. Phil.
Please do, Dr. Phil. Please do.
So,
Please do.
on July 6th, Crystal says you returned your daughter and she reported that you had raped her with a stick. Did that happen?
Absolutely not.
She says on Christmas Eve that you laid her on the floor and you
That is absolutely obscene.
Then
That is
tell that to your
obscene.
daughter.
Who
Tell that to your
who
daughter.
holds a child down at 3 years old when I have 150 family members there and everything was fine?
Come on, tell the truth.
Who accuses somebody of that?
I've asked you straight up if you have molested your daughter on any occasion, and you have said absolutely, unequivocally no.
Unequivocally, 110% no. I did not touch my daughter in any way, shape, or form to harm her. She is an angel in my possession.
Anthony. You're disgusting.
Move on with your life.
I have.
Now that I have overnight, you don't want to let go. You don't want to let go.
Let go. You have no overnight, Anthony. You got nothing.
Hold on.
You've got nothing.
Hold on.
You've got nothing. You'll have nothing. I will be gone with her. I'll leave with her. You've got
Hold
nothing.
on.
Touch her again.
Why do you suppose
I dare you.
she's making these allegations if they're not true?
She's making allegations. In my opinion, they're being coached.
Why do you think Crystal is?
Everything was fine. Picked her up, dropped her off. We were co-parenting fine.
Zero of it.
Okay?
Zero.
November 23rd, when I pulled up in my new car and didn't give her my old car, she came out and said, I'm not bringing you the child. She had the injunction ready 2 days after she didn't get the car.
Crazy.
So you say she got jealous of you getting a new BMW and not giving her your other car.
My older car, correct. TVs for the baby, the whole nine.
You're a good
So the
controller.
mouth
He
on.
wants the admiration of everybody
Okay,
else.
now I'm either going to have to ask you to
I'm
leave the
sorry, Dr.
stage,
Phil. I'm sorry,
or
Dr.
you're
Phil.
going to let him talk.
You're lying.
Well, he says you're lying.
But I have proof behind me.
Well, we'll see whether you do or you don't.
I do.
Okay, because I have it all right here,
I
what
do
you
have
gave me.
proof.
We're going to take a look at it. If this is true, you say it's not, but if it's true, why haven't you been charged, tried, and convicted?
Because it's not true.
Let's take a break. When we come
now
back, this
have it.
proof that it is. Listen, I have had a team working on this. We have assimilated it. We're going to take a look at it and see what constitutes proof. Anthony says Crystal's mother, Barbara, has been sucked into Crystal's nonsense. Now, Barbara claims Anthony is a disgusting, lying, abusive narcissist who 100% sexually abused her granddaughter. We're going to get to the bottom of this after the break.
Anthony is a sociopathic devil. I would like his parental rights stripped from him. We go to court, he wears his three-piece Armani suit. He lies right to the judge's face. Don't want his money, we don't care. Goodbye, get lost. Hasta la vista, baby.
And later, is it possible you're wrong?
No.
Then there's
I
no
don't
point in
want-
talking to you.
You know
just
why,
might as
Dr.
well
Phil?
leave.
When my granddaughter
No,
says what
no,
she says,
no.
I'm
It's my daughter, not yours. Bye.
daughter.
Goodbye.
No.
My daughter is living a nightmare. She'll scream for hours and cry and say, no, 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 no. She'll throw things, she'll hit me.
She's not that child. She's happy.
Oh God, she's punched me right in the face, spit in my face.
She's an angel.
My daughter's regressed. We had her completely potty trained. She had no binkies, no pacifiers, no bottles. Now she wants to be a baby all the time.
It's like two different children.
She took an antenna that was off my grandmother's little portable radio, and she said, don't worry, Nana, it's not gonna hurt, it's gonna tickle.
For my daughter to say those things, it's impossible.
Crystal's mother, Barbara, claims she is certain Anthony sexually assaulted her 3-year-old granddaughter. She says she is so certain because she claims her granddaughter's story is in great detail and has never changed. Now, Barbara says she would like nothing more than for Anthony to go to jail, and she says she is willing to do whatever it takes to make sure he never gets near her granddaughter again.
I'm 1,000% sure that Anthony assaulted my granddaughter. I pray that it's only been 2 occasions, but I don't know. Anthony is sociopathic, narcissistic, incestuous, a pedophile, a devil. How would I describe him as a father? Has the pit sound. I would like his parental rights stripped from him, incarcerated, and to wipe him from my granddaughter's memory forever. The first time I found out that Anthony sexually abused my granddaughter, I was in shock when my granddaughter said what was wrong with her and the pain she was in. I filled from the feet all the way up with an absolute rage.
Barbara has been brainwashed by Crystal, and the both of them are coaching this child to a T, no doubt in my mind.
We don't prompt this child. There's no need to. She does it all on her own. On Christmas Eve, the police manipulated Crystal and made her give the baby to the father. Thanks to the police, my granddaughter was assaulted in a horrible way again. Merry Christmas. Anthony, you got a lot of balls, baby, to even think to get away with something like this. Your sister watched you do this? How do you look in a mirror?
We had a very good relationship in the beginning. She called me Sil, son-in-law. Now I'm the Antichrist.
The type of father Anthony portrays to the world, he's the one in front of the Christmas tree with all the presents. This is not the man he is.
Before, I was the best thing ever because I was spending $400 on this and that. And then when her daughter made the accusations, I'm the devil.
We go to court, he wears his three-piece Armani suit. He lies right to the judge's face, and he gets away with it. We don't want him in our lives. We don't want his money. We don't care. Goodbye, get lost, adios, see you later. Hasta la vista, baby.
You two got serious issues.
Hello, Dr. Phil. Thank you so much for having
Barbara,
us
thank
here
you for
today.
being here.
Thank you. My unpleasure.
You want to know the truth, or you think you already know the truth?
I know the truth. Let me explain something to you. I'm 60 years old. No one convinces me. Do you understand that, Anthony? Satan? This little girl, my daughter, is a great mother. But what I have heard from my granddaughter's mouth, I could throw up right here on the stage. You got a nerve.
If that's what I've done, then how did the judge turn it over 2 times? You psychomaniacs. You psychomaniacs. 10 months. Where's the proof? No proof till now, right? 10 months I haven't seen her. The proof all of it automatically appeared, right?
You're right, you're not going to see her until you're a addict, you're a drug addict, and you're an alcoholic. You fall asleep in my suppers when you were eating at my house. You are pathetic.
Hold on.
Pathetic.
Now, hold on. There is an evidence trail here. If you've watched this show, then you know that I did a postdoctoral fellowship in forensic psychology. And so this is not foreign to me.
That's why we wrote to you.
And I know how to deconstruct this, and I know how to connect these dots.
Justice is going to come out.
And
children don't lie. Babies don't
2-year-olds
lie.
get coached by people, by crazy people like you. By crazy people like you.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, by crazy people like you. People, the daughters, the kids get coached.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, read all about it. All you do is play dirty in court. That's all you do. Accusation after accusation.
You don't remember tonight.
Accusation after accusation. How many judges have to turn over your accusation? How many? How many judges?
The main judge. They moved him to another court, or you'd be gone.
Every time I go to court, I get my daughter back because you know you're lying. You know you're lying.
Helping.
So you're pulling for every string you can.
You keep wearing your Armani suits, and you keep being the narcissistic drug addict.
You jeopardize my livelihood. You jeopardize my livelihood. Of what I wear.
Nana, hold on.
You're the one on sex sites at 64 years old.
Stop talking.
I'm sorry.
64 years old. I'm 60.
But we want you to help her.
No, you don't. No, you don't. What you do is you came here to assassinate his. Shut up. Closed captioning provided by
You want to go to your dad? Can your dad
Okay,
hold
you know
her?
what? You know what? When
Can your father hold her?
when people behave like this, it suggests to me that you're not wanting to get to the truth.
Oh, yes, we do. She tells the chicken wing man what my daddy did, and they're like, oh my God.
Because I'm going to lead you to the truth.
Oh, please. Please.
I'm going to lead you to the truth. I'm going to lead you to the truth, and how loud you yell or how often you yell doesn't change the facts.
No, it doesn't.
You should hear what comes out of their mouth in the house with my daughter around. That she hears this. This is the way they scream with my daughter around?
You know, my dad used to tell me, don't ever miss a good chance to shut up. This would be one of those chances.
Got it.
There are facts here, and you're right. There is evidence here. I'm willing to walk us through this. When I started this show 16 years ago, I said we were going to deal with silent epidemics, and I was going to give a voice to people that didn't have it.
Thank you.
And this child doesn't have it. You three certainly have it. But you've got to be willing to be open-minded. Is it possible you're wrong?
No.
Then there's no point in talking to you.
You know
just
why,
might as well
Dr. Phil?
leave.
When my granddaughter says what she says,
It's my daughter, not yours. Bye. Goodbye.
If she was your daughter, you wouldn't have
you
done
might
what
as well
you did.
look. If you are so close-minded that you say there's absolutely no possibility you're
There's
wrong, then
why
you
would
might as
the
well
child
leave.
leave?
No,
Why would she
stop.
lie? Why would
Stop
she lie,
talking.
Dr. Phil?
Stop talking. You didn't see it happen, and if you say there's no chance it didn't, then there's no point in me talking to you. No point
I
in me
don't
talking to
believe
you.
my granddaughter's lying.
What?
I don't believe she's lying.
That isn't what I asked you.
Okay, well, you said...
I asked you, I said, is there a possibility that you're wrong? And you say, absolutely not. Then that means you're completely irrational. There's no point in me talking to you.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
You didn't see it happen, so you don't know whether it did or didn't.
I saw her rear end.
We know what she told
I saw
us.
what she saw, and I heard what she said. She tells strangers this. Complete strangers. Why would a child do that? We don't know.
Do you want to know the answer to that question?
Yes.
If there is one?
Yes, please.
Because you're telling me that you've closed the data window. It's like you know, where you go to the racetrack and you go to the window and make a bet. You've closed that window. You said, I don't want any more information. I have all the information I need. I've decided what's happened here. I would think you would be praying on your knees every day that you're wrong.
Well, to think about this, yes, that's nauseating. Absolutely. We were in shock at first. In total shock. Yes, 100%.
I think you'd be praying every day that you're wrong.
I'm praying that the baby gets help every day. That's what I'm praying for.
Okay. Well, there's no point in talking to you, so I got nothing to say to you.
But we want you to help her.
No, you don't.
Yes,
no,
we
you don't. What
Yes,
you
we
do is you came here
You
to
wanna keep her from me.
assassinate his.
No,
Shut
I want her
up.
to get help.
You did not come here to seek the truth. You came here to assassinate his character. You don't want to know whether it happened or not. You came here to assassinate his character. What I want to know is whether it happened or not, and if it did, get your daughter the help that she needs.
He'll never admit this.
I don't need him to admit it.
I'll take a lie detector test for you right now.
I don't need you
Right
to do
now.
that. I don't need either one of you to do it, because I think the evidence is very clear as to what happened or not. It's just none of y'all seem to want to hear it.
Okay, I'm ready to listen.
Well, we spent another whole segment of these people deflecting from the truth because they apparently don't want to hear it. So we'll take a break and come back, and I'll ask them once again if they want to get to the bottom of this, because I know what happened. I've got the facts. I've put together the trail. We'll be right back.
One doctor said that it could possibly
Well, now,
be
wait a minute. That's what you said was your proof. So don't say, well, there's one doctor, there's another. You said that was your proof.
There's other proof there, Dr. Phil. That's not just the only one.
Closed captioning provided by Well, Crystal accuses Anthony of sexually assaulting their 3-year-old daughter on at least 2 separate occasions. She says the second time was on Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas, of 2016. The first time was July 6th of 2016. Now, let me start with you, and I'm going to ask the two of you to not comment for a minute here. You say you have unequivocal proof.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what the proof is.
Her rectum is partially hanging out of her bottom.
How is that proof that he did something to her?
She said so. She said that he did
No, you said proof. Tell me what.
Well, how else would your victim fall out?
Oh, there are a number of reasons that could happen, according to your pediatrician. This was 6/9 of 17. She said child sexual abuse suspected, subsequent encounter, other hemorrhoids, vaginitis, will refer to gastroenterology. Now, when we look at the form, the comment about the suspected sexual abuse was what you have written in your hand down here. That wasn't anything that she observed, because this was months after it had taken. There would be no physical sequel to any abuse that had taken place before. This was you writing this down here, that there was sexual abuse. What she's talking about here is that there were hemorrhoids and vaginitis, and you make no allegation of any vaginal violation whatsoever, so that doesn't have anything to do with him. The hemorrhoids, you said that she had been given antibiotics, which caused a yeast infection, which resulted in, you call, an implosion of the rectum from the inside out, which is the alternative explanation for why that would be going on.
One doctor said it could possibly
be. Well, now, wait a minute. That's what you said was your proof. So don't say, well, there's one doctor, there's another. You said that was your proof. And in fact, that's not proof, because that's not what the doctor said.
But there's other proof there, Dr. Phil. That's not just the only one.
It's okay to talk about this one.
No, you could talk about that one. If it's hemorrhoids, why is she saying that he did that to her?
We're talking about proof. And you said the proof was the pediatrician found medical evidence that supported that.
It was the hospital. The pediatrician got those after she was seen by the hospital.
This pediatrician, like me, is a mandated reporter. So did this pediatrician report this?
Yes. Yes.
No, the pediatrician didn't.
The
pediatrician really did not know how to handle it.
The very first call. The very first
She
call.
did not know how to
the pediatrician has no ambiguity about how to handle it. If the pediatrician examines a child that has been raped, there's no ambiguity about how to handle it.
We thought so.
They have a 24-hour mandate to report this.
That's the problem, you thought.
Do not talk. Did the pediatrician report this?
To the DCF? No, they did not. It was already reported. We already had a case going on.
You don't seem to understand. This is a medically licensed professional, and if they observe evidence of rape, they have 24 hours to report it. It doesn't matter who else has reported it or hasn't reported it.
They did not report it because we already had a case going on.
Don't say because. There is no because. There is no alternative explanation. If they observe that this child has been raped, they have 24 hours to report it.
They didn't even look at her. They said that we were not medically equipped to handle the situation. That was what they said.
So you said this was proof. Now you're saying they weren't competent to handle it.
No, this was the second time. This is not, if you look at the dates, this is not the same time.
Look, this is a report you pointed to that said was your proof.
Yes, there's many, there's
so don't now waffle and say, well, that's not the proof.
There's 3 papers that go with that, Dr. Phil, not just that paper.
You say there are other pages. I have them right here.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of those things that you said I was doing.
It says diaper rash.
It says skin tag, edema.
It says diaper rash and it says skin tag, edema. Nowhere does it say rape.
Please help my daughter. That's all I really want from you. Please.
That's exactly what I'm doing. So the truth is, you don't have medical proof.
If that's what you want to call it.
No, if you have medical proof, point it out to me. I have your medical records right here.
She wasn't born with this, and now there's something there. That's the medical proof.
Same person that wrote that was the same person that coached you?
You want to get in this conversation?
Sorry, that's a medical issue.
You don't like the way it's going?
No, I love the way it's going.
Barbara, you want to send somebody to jail over this evidence right here? I'm not saying this is all the evidence you've got, but this is a gross misrepresentation of the facts. Now, come on.
If you're saying so, look, I'm not talking about
Don't plead ignorance now. You came
not
out here.
pleading
You
ignorance.
came out here just standing on these medical records to prove that this man raped your granddaughter with an object, and you said we've got medical proof. Here it is. It says diaper rash, skin tag edema, and hemorrhoids.
Sexual abuse.
It does not say sexual abuse.
It doesn't say that?
It does not say sexual abuse.
That's what I thought I read. Sexual abuse, subsequent sexual abuse. What does that mean?
When you come into a
insurance
doctor and say, I'm telling you this child has been sexually abused, then they say, okay, assuming that the parent is a reliable historian, in a differential diagnostic process, we will list as a consideration that possibility.
No other doctor than the emergency room has looked at her.
Then you don't have medical proof.
Emergency room doctor did, and that was the emergency room's doctor's report.
The emergency room doctor is the one that said it's the skin tag, it could be diaper rash, it could be a lot of things.
Right.
And we had to get the report.
You don't send somebody to prison over somebody saying, it could be a lot of things.
Same person that wrote that was the same person that coached you?
Orally, doctor. Anthony, your daughter.
Whoever told you to write that
Our daughter tells the truth.
You want to get in this
No, I'm sorry,
conversation.
that's a medical issue. I'm not a medical
You really
doctor.
want to get in this
Absolutely
conversation.
not.
You don't like the way it's going.
No, I love the way it's going. Who's coming out today?
Why is my daughter saying these things?
What?
Why is my daughter saying these
Well, we'll
things?
get to that in a minute.
Okay. How do you prove she's oral? You can't.
We'll get that. We're going to look at that in a minute. But first, I want to determine whether you have medical proof or whether you don't.
That's what we have right now because no other doctor has looked at her, Dr. Phil. We've trying to get her to a pediatric gynecologist.
I'm not saying you aren't frustrated by not having medical proof. I'm just saying that you don't have medical proof.
We don't have enough. We really don't.
That's right.
Okay.
Because it's not there.
I'm sorry.
I haven't told you whether I think your daughter has been molested or not. I'm just trying to stick with the facts. You came out with a bold statement. I have irrefutable medical proof that this happened. On examination, you actually don't.
I know what my daughter told me and I know what they're saying.
That's different than whether you have medical proof or not.
Okay. She happens to be very literal, my daughter.
She happens to be very wrong.
Well, she could be wrong. I agree.
She could be wrong. She does not have medical proof. You do not have something here that says, to a reasonable degree of medical certainty, this child has been raped with an object. That isn't even almost here. Can we acknowledge that?
I'll acknowledge it.
Crystal wants to know why her daughter keeps saying these horrible things. Well, we'll talk about that when we come back. Closed captioning provided by... Well, we've run out of time today, but we have so much more to cover. Now, the mystery remains unsolved, and the question still remains, did Anthony sexually assault his 3-year-old daughter? Now, Anthony's ex-girlfriend, Crystal, and her mother, Barbara, say they are 100% certain Anthony is guilty, and they want him thrown in prison. They say they are ready to go on the run to ensure 3-year-old Marie's safety. Take a look at what's coming up tomorrow. Stay tuned because, believe me, you do not want to miss this. Don't forget to log on to drphil.com and see previews of upcoming episodes. You can also find me on Facebook and Twitter to share your thoughts. We'll see you tomorrow.